The reason you keep restarting isn't because of effort or intensity or how much you're working out. It's because of your identity. It's who you believe you are, who you think you are. You don't lack motivation, you lack security in yourself and your actual ability to change. You believe that you're not able to change subconsciously. So, if discipline feels like impossible, it's because you don't trust yourself enough. If you've said before that you'll lock in and you'll do a bunch of workouts, you'll eat clean, you'll do whatever, and then you just absolutely do not, you make no progress, this is the video for you, right? So, you want to be disciplined, but you cannot stay consistent. You start off fast, for a couple of weeks, then you slowly drift back into not actually doing the workouts. You're consistent for a bit, like a few weeks or something, and then you just start slowly, you miss one workout, and then you slowly go back into absolutely doing nothing, right? When you miss this one first workout, you're going to think, oh yeah, it doesn't really matter. And then you're going to think on your next time you have to work out, oh yeah, it's fine, I missed the last one, so it doesn't actually matter that much. And if you keep doing this, unfortunately, you just go into that spiral of inconsistency and actually don't make any progress towards your fitness goals. So you always consume content and you don't actually execute on what you want to do, right? You're always watching a bunch of content and you go into this thing called analysis paralysis. And don't worry, I've been in this situation before, but basically you watch a bunch of content and you keep changing your plan and keep thinking, oh, I'm not making progress because of this or that. But realistically, it's nothing to do with what you watch. All the stuff you watch does also actually, what you do watch does actually make you more inconsistent because you keep changing your plans. You don't understand who's right or who's wrong. Most of the fitness industry is actually quite wrong, to be honest. So fair enough. But that's not the main problem. The main problem here is your beliefs about yourself and your identity. Your limiting beliefs that are holding you back. And every time you do restart, every time you stay consistent for a bit and then just stop, it actually just chips away at your identity and makes you reinforces the idea that you are somebody who doesn't actually work out and doesn't make progress. And this sort of spirals and compounds into you not actually believing in yourself, and this is why you have no motivation, no discipline, and you just don't actually take action towards your goals. And this doesn't actually just affect you working out, this just affects your entire mentality and your entire identity about yourself. And it's sort of, if you keep being inconsistent and keep doing this, it just creates you into the person that doesn't actually make progress, and you actually become someone that doesn't trust themselves. And if you're this person, if you don't trust yourself, if you don't believe you can make progress, you're not going to do it. And then you keep starting to stay consistent and keeping the cycle of staying consistent, doing a bit of workout, and then stopping and being inconsistent for ages. If you keep doing this cycle, you're just going to keep reinforcing the beliefs that you're somebody that can't make progress and don't do the work, right? Usually, you start off with motivation. At the start of the cycle, you start off motivated, you probably watch some David Goggins reel or something, and think, oh yes, I'm going to get so strong now, I'm actually going to work out, I'm actually going to eat clean, I'm going to do all this stuff. And then it doesn't last. And that's because motivation fades, right? Motivation is highly, highly important, but motivation does not last forever. And, it's based off emotions. Most things are based off emotions, but, and you can use these emotions and harness them into actually making more progress, but you can't always rely on them. So you start off thinking, oh, I'm really annoyed, you're at a bad place. It doesn't even have to be that bad of a place, but you're just annoyed that you're not making progress, so you actually start to work out. And then, you start working out and you think to yourself, oh yeah, I'm doing better. So then you relax and then you just don't. This is why the cycle starts where you actually start to be inconsistent. So this is why you need to actually, use this motivation to start working out and start doing it. But you need to do something else. You need to fix your brain. You need to fix your mentality and fix your identity, right? You need to change your identity to basically believe in yourself. But you don't actually believe in yourself, you believe in your becoming self. If you believe in yourself now, you're never going to make progress, because the person you are now is the person that keeps going in these cycles of being inconsistent. But if you believe in becoming the person that is always consistent, you're going to start becoming the person. That is why most people try to force their consistency when they're not actually this person. They're not the person They're not he who can, right? They're not the person who can be consistent. They're the person who's inconsistent. And if they are the person that's inconsistent, they just won't make progress because they're trying to force the consistency and not, design their identity around being consistent. So if you keep doing like what these other people are doing, you're not only not making progress towards your fitness goals, you're actually just becoming the person who almost does it, right? You're becoming the person who works out for a bit and then just makes no progress. And you're just reinforcing this belief in yourself that you are this person if you keep being inconsistent. So, and the danger here is not actually, losing out on gains. Obviously it is losing out on, your progress or your strength goals. But it's actually just mentally changing you into becoming the person that doesn't actually make the progress that's required. And if you're this person, obviously you're not going to make progress, but also you're just going to feel terrible because you think, oh, I'm a guy that can't make progress. So this is sort of the case for me, right? I trained for absolutely ages. I started off with calisthenics in my house, just doing like pull-ups, push-ups. I did make really good progress at the start. I started off at 0 push-ups, 0 pull-ups, and I got to like, I don't know, 20 pull-ups and 30 push-ups or something. But then after this, I plateaued and I just didn't make any progress until I joined a gym. But the reason this was because I was believing that it wasn't my fault. I was believing that it was something else and that I wasn't to blame. It was just like my genetics or my training plan or something. And this is why I kept going in this cycle of being consistent and inconsistent, inconsistent and consistent. And basically, this reinforced the idea that I was somebody that was inconsistent, which made me even more inconsistent. And I did this, I was blaming my genetics, I was blaming everything else. And up until the point where I saw one of my friends surpass me insanely fast. He made like insane progress in like 8 months, where I'd been training for like 2 or nearly 3 years. And I just thought, oh my gosh, well, firstly I thought, oh my gosh, he must be like crazy, like have crazy genetics or something. But then I realized maybe it wasn't him and it was me. Like I can actually change myself to make progress. And then I broke my leg. Last year I broke my leg in August, and I just was basically spending the entire time that I had a broken leg in my house researching how to train and how to get stronger, because it's something I'm really interested in. And I wanted to actually surpass my friend that I got stronger than me. But I realized that the issue wasn't motivation. It wasn't like I was motivated to get stronger, but I had to change something deeper. I had to change my identity. And this is how, and your identity, you're probably wondering, what do I mean by this? Like, you know what identity is, but you're thinking, how do I change it? Basically, it's just like your beliefs about your responsibility, your discipline, and your consistency. Whatever you believe in is who you are. So that's your identity. If you believe that you're someone that can do everything, like make progress, get stronger, be consistent, then you will basically become that person. But if you're somebody who doesn't, believes the opposite, that you're inconsistent and, I can't make progress because of this, because of that, because of my genetics, you're just going to be that person and you're not going to make progress. That's why it's so insanely important to change them. You're not born with discipline, right? You actually become the person who is disciplined. I used to be, and still am to be honest, insanely lazy. I used to do absolutely no work, absolutely no workouts. And when I would do the workouts, I'd think, oh, I don't want to do this. But you have to change what you believe about yourself. If you believe that you're somebody who doesn't like working out, doesn't make progress, as I've just said, you're going to be that person. But if you change, and if you change your beliefs and believe that you can be disciplined, then you'll become disciplined. I've said this 3 times, but honestly, this is how it works. But yeah, this is why I built a free community where you basically become as strong as you possibly can. You change your mindsets through it, then I give you insane training program and also all the boosters. I call them XP boosters. They're just the extra necessities that you need to actually make progress. But the core idea is you need to change your beliefs before you make progress. If you're inconsistent like I was and didn't make any progress, you need to change how you think and your identity. So if you want to join that, it's free, completely free, in the link down below, and I'll help you there. Also, it's brand new, so if you're one of the first members, great, I'd love to have you in there. But yeah, so how does it work for me? Basically, I am now insanely consistent. I want to work out. Every single time that I have a workout, I just like really want to do it. Like that's the only thing I think about throughout the entire day. Maybe that's bad, but no, it's not. If you want to make progress, you're gonna have to be the person that, you know, is always thinking about training and actually really loves it. And if you don't know it right now, you're probably thinking, oh well, then it's not for me. But no, you can change your beliefs and you can change what you think about training. So if you wanna train, if you wanna make progress, then just think about like why training is good. I show you how to do this in the course, as I said, but I've now changed my beliefs, so I think training is like fun. I find it fun. I used to find it fun, but then I just found there was like a period like where I don't want to make progress. But if you use my free program, it's absolutely ridiculous, actually. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Basically, you need to change your thoughts, your limiting beliefs about yourself and your identity before you become the person capable of actually making progress. And if you are the person capable of making progress, you're making progress and you will make progress. Thank you for watching. If you do want to join my free community, there's a link down below. It's completely free, so please join it. Or if you are a skinny, inconsistent guy who wants to get insanely strong and make insane progress as quickly as possible through like changing your mindset, an insane training style and structure where I go in depth in absolutely everything, and obviously all the other extras you need about like how to boost your testosterone, how to sleep well, how to eat well, how to do absolutely everything you need to make progress. Book a call down in the description below, and I'll see if you're the right match for me. But apart from that, have a great day, and I'll see you later. Subscribe as well if you want to. Don't have to. But goodbye.